Hey everybody, I'm Luca Paris and welcome to MonadTalk Business Spotlight. I am the president and CEO of the Greater Monadnock Collaborative. We are the regional chamber of commerce for the Monadnock region, and we're here to tell you about all the stories, about all the companies, about all the industries, and the people that help the Monadnock region thrive. And if you're listening to this show today and you want to hear more of these, go to wkbkradio.com. Drop over to podcast. All the way at the bottom, you'll see Monadnock Business Spotlight. It's brought to you by the Monadnock Broadcasting Group. We're doing it here in the West Keene Studios, and Dan Mitchell's with me, and he's making sure that we get on the air for you and live. And I'm really excited to be doing this. And we have hundreds of episodes that talk about the businesses and the people and the organizations that help the Monadnock region thrive. And today is going to be a little bit different, because this is about something that you hear all about, we all have, and sometimes we don't know where to go when we want questions answered. And I'm really excited to bring a show like this and an episode like this to Monadnock Business Spotlight, because if you have a business or if you've purchased insurance, which guess what? All of you have, you probably have a million questions. And if you're like me, most of the time you don't even read what's in your policy, and when things happen, you don't know where to go. And if you've bought it online, okay, you're all nodding your head right now as you're driving, and you're all saying the same thing. Yeah, that's what happens to me, but I don't want to learn about this. Well, guess what? I didn't even know this. There's a New Hampshire insurance department, and they are there. It's a state department. They're there to help us, and they're all about, they have so many people working with them. And we're going to talk specifically at some point about a consumer protection unit, which is going to help you. So if you have a business and you have questions about insurance, or if you are a person and you have questions about insurance, there's an answer right at the state level. And we have two folks that came in today. AJ Kierstead is with us and Keith Nyhan is with us. Guys, thanks so much for being here and talking about the most exciting thing that anyone could be talking about is insurance, right? Is that what you get all the time, Keith?
Yeah, absolutely. Those of us who work in the industry can't think of any place we'd rather work, but it's
it's needed. I mean, this is part of life. This is everything that from having dinner and buying insurance, you need it.
Sure, it's actually one of the oldest industries in the world. The insurance to protect ourselves against unexpected incidents. And
right.
That could be a health insurance claim. It could be an automobile incident. It could be a problem with your home. Insurance has been here for hundreds of years, and it will be for more.
And we were talking, I know, AJ, you and I were talking the other day about, could you imagine what it would be like if you didn't have insurance? How do you even, nothing would happen, right? I mean, at this point, there's so much parts of your life. If there wasn't insurance in it, you didn't have that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do a lot of things.
No, I would say it's a part of everyday life. We've actually joked. We've sent some people on to jail, and those innovative individuals are probably selling insurance in prison. Some sort of protective coverage. But at its most basic form, insurance is the transfer of risk. A lot of individuals coming together, banding together, and saying, hey, listen, if one of us gets hurt, we're all going to chip in and cover that. If one of us has a home fire, all the rest, we're going to chip in and take care of each other. So it's a great principle. It's found in pretty much every part of our lives, as we mentioned, from health insurance, which we are hopefully most of us have, and automobile insurance, which most of us have, and homeowners insurance, which the banks tell us you're going to have. Yeah. So it permeates every aspect of our lives.
So, and you brought it up as probably the best way I could have ever heard about it was it's us ensuring that we have each other's backs because we're all paying into something. And then when something happens to one of us, it's helping out, right?
Correct.
In that way.
I think that's a good way to think about it. Unfortunately, the true insurance model has morphed over years. We can kind of talk about the old Mennonite brothers helping each other,
right?
But it's not quite that way anymore in corporate America. Our licensees, our companies that issue insurance, obviously they're in it to make business, to make money,
sure,
make a profit, and there are guardrails around who's going to pay claims, how those claims are going to be paid. But yeah, that's most a fundamental form. It's a form of communal support.
Yeah. And so where does the New Hampshire Insurance Department come in? I'm not calling you if I'm a business because I need a policy. That's where I go get a policy from an insurance company or a vendor or whatever.
Absolutely. So
where do you come in?
Yeah, so we kind of talk about the insurance department. And so just kind of a quick introduction. My name is Keith Nyhan. I'm the deputy commissioner at the insurance department, and I've worked there for about 18 years. So I've touched about pretty much every business unit that the department has. The insurance department at its most fundamental mission is to protect consumers. Primary mission is making sure that those companies that we license who are supposed to pay claims stay financially solvent so that when there is a claim, there's money to be able to pay those claims.
Right.
We have a separate business unit within the department called the Financial Regulation Division that essentially conducts audits and keeps track of financial accounts and solvency, most important mission of the department. After that, we get into what we think of as more of kind of our bread and butter, which is individual consumer protection. And there I'll kind of touch upon what's really a three-legged stool of consumer protection. And we think of ourselves as the insurance police. We don't create laws and rules. We certainly support the legislature, but we're here to enforce the laws and rules that the state has given us. Part of this is the three-legged stool I was talking about, which is on the front end of any sort of insurance policy, or let me strike that. When a consumer buys an insurance policy, the consumer understands or should understand that someone in the insurance department has reviewed that contract to make sure it complies with all the laws and regulations. That's one leg of the stool. Next leg of the stool is what we call our consumer protection unit, which is the individuals. So if you have a question, you can call, you can email. We'll talk more about that. And then lastly, it's the market conduct team, which is another audit group, which after a policy is issued, if we identify, concerns with a particular company, we can have our audit team or our market conduct team go look at that company to make sure they're still following the laws and rules of New Hampshire,
right.
And they can, issue fines and basically hold companies accountable for treating customers properly. But if I can keep going, we'll jump right back into the consumer protection.
You got this.
Thank you. The Consumer Protection Bureau has its own mission, which is to educate, investigate, navigate. I'll strike that. Navigate, investigate. So what that really means is we have a group of 7 individuals who have roughly more than 150 years experience between them. And their sole purpose is to assist the individual insurance consumers in the state. Typically, we think of ourselves as individual consumers, but that could also include a business owner who's trying to protect his or her property assets or business assets. But the unit is an unbiased group where if you have a question, whether it be about medical insurance, business owner policy, you can call, ask your question. We'll give you an unbiased answer. We don't get paid to make sales. We don't get paid commissions. As you mentioned at the top of this hour, we're a state agency. We're here to help taxpayer dollars and, assessments against the industry is what pay for us.
Right.
But we are an unbiased resource. That's the education component. Navigate, many times we're contacted by consumers who are having some particular difficulty navigating what we think is a complicated industry. Might be navigating the complexities of an automobile claim where someone's been in an accident, it's been a total loss, and maybe the individual doesn't feel as though they're being offered enough money, or someone has a question about a fire loss and says, who do I call? We're here to help. We can help you navigate that process, tell you who you should speak with, help you understand that process. And then really the biggest bang for our buck, if you will, is our investigative function, which is a formal written complaint process. Individuals can contact us, tell us that, in the case of that automobile accident, file a written complaint. We will contact the licensee. Typically, in this case, it's going to be an insurance company, and we can ask what's going on, why they're undervaluing the claim in the consumer's eyes, and make sure that the consumer is being treated fairly. So educate, navigate, investigate is the core of what we do. And I'll just give you a quick number here, and we can take a break if need be. Is last year, calendar year 23, we addressed just under 5,300 individual consumers, and we recovered more than $6 million for New Hampshire residents. So
That's amazing.
Yes.
So, do you find that you're needed because it's the way the insurance companies are running things, or is it just stuff that gets missed? So for instance, I have something happen to me, right? Well, sometimes I just go, okay, that's what they told me. That's it. Can I just call you and say, can you check this out and make sure it's all on the up and up? Or
Absolutely.
That's the kind of way I could go. It doesn't have to be something egregious, right? It doesn't have to be, they're not paying me. It could be just, hey, can you check out this this claim I just made?
Yep. So,
or do you want to do that, right?
Yeah, well, so
you don't want to take everybody's claim.
It's interesting. As I said, we enforce the laws and rules, and while in the consumer division we do try to wear an advocacy hat occasionally,
right?
Really, it's just to enforce the laws and rules. And there have been incidents where people have called us, and lo and behold, maybe they're not telling the truth, and sometimes we need to refer those to the fraud bureau. And a great example might be someone who says, "Geez, I lost my wedding ring." They're filing a claim. What can you do to help out? And, we start poking into that, and the wedding ring might have been available in a photograph the day before on Facebook or, pick your platform. So those things can go both ways. I'd say certainly we're here to help those who have a legitimate issue, and honesty kind of drives what we do. But you bring an issue to us, and we will look into it for you.
That's incredible.
Includes even just if you have questions about your policy. I don't understand what these inclusions and exclusions mean for this policy. Yeah. Our consumer services division is more than happy to assist with that, or just in general, like what is this? What is this insurance product? I don't understand what this is. Am I being sold something legitimate? Like, you can call us.
I think most of us do that, right? We'll hear. As a business owner for the last 30 years before I took this job, I've sat down with my insurance agents and they said, these are the things we think you'll need. And I'm hoping that they're doing their job as an agent and being truthful to give me the right product. So a lot of times that's what I have to rely on. I can't be an expert in the insurance field as well as a good cook.
It's one of our taglines is insurance is complex. We're here to help.
Yep.
And as it relates to product selection, it's a great question, one that we get frequently, and it's one where while we at the insurance department have those levels of expertise, we think it's equally important to connect consumers, business owners, with individuals who can help them, which is our agency system.
Right.
There's actually an organization here in New Hampshire which is referred to as the Big I, which is I for insurance. The formal name is the Independent Insurance Agents of New Hampshire.
Okay.
And it's an organization that is certainly independent of the insurance department, but it's an association of individuals who can help you identify what your insurance needs are and connect you with the individuals who can help you to obtain that insurance.
Right.
I'll just give a quick plug for them. So when we're contacted by consumers and say, "Hey, geez, can you help me purchase a business owner policy for my small business?"
Right.
What do I need to do? We say, listen, call the Big I. Their phone number is 603-224-3965, and they're available on the web at biginh.com. It is literally just calling them saying, hey, I need some help. They'll put you in touch with an independent agent, independent being that they're not affiliated just with one insurance company.
Right.
They can, shop and help you purchase a policy from a number of different companies. And they will put you in touch with an agent in your zip code. They're throughout the state. They may even send you to their partner website, which is called trustedchoice.com. And there you can kind of put in what insurances you think you need and where you live, and definitely can connect you with the right resources.
That's amazing. And that's really important. So you're that first stop, and you kind of disseminate where we're going to need to go next. If it's something you have to investigate, you guys can. But if it's just learning about what policies to get, we could go there. And I got to tell you that since I took this position a couple of years ago, the amount of resources at a state level in this state alone have been incredible. And I know they're probably everywhere else too, but the connection, it's one phone call away, and there are people that travel. I mean, you travel the whole state, and you're here today, and that kind of thing. It's really this 1 degree of separation to getting help is really incredible.
Well, thank you for saying that. We do pride ourselves. I think all of our state agencies do a really nice job helping the public. I'm biased, and I think we do the best job in the state. We have an outreach team, which, Mr. Kierstead's here with me today, in making sure people know how to find us. One of the complaints that we've heard over the years is didn't even know you existed.
Right.
So here we are today promoting our services as we're an unbiased resource for information. We can connect you to people who can help you, and God forbid there's a problem, a legitimate issue, we will investigate and we will resolve that issue.
You said you've been doing this for 18 years at this
I
around
think
here?
Probably around 17, 18 years with the state. Prior to that, I worked in private industry.
I was going to ask because it seems like even DJ was in private industry before. He's the commissioner, right?
Sure.
Is that his position?
He is. DJ Betancourt is the commissioner. He was actually involved in the legislature for a number of years.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And he is very well connected on the legislative side. So everybody who joins the insurance department typically comes from private industry with an area of expertise.
Okay.
The commissioner has a great legislative background. My background happens to be life insurance and annuities. The individuals in the consumer unit, there's one individual who used to work as an agent selling property insurance, another one who used to investigate health claims. So everybody comes to the state usually with some sort of altruistic approach of wanting to help people, and they bring with them their, in most cases, decades of experience working in private industry.
You mentioned the word annuities, which is you either know it or you're scared of it, right? And I'm sure you get a lot of calls about that.
Yeah, I've always promoted it as the sexy sister of the financial services industry. People roll their eyes and groan a little bit. It's one of our more complicated insurance products.
Right.
And you're right. People are either comfortable with them or they're not. It's a good product for the proper individual, but individuals who wish to purchase annuities should consult with an agent who can help them make the proper choice.
Right.
Annuities need to be purchased with someone's income and assets in mind and what they intend to do with those this product, long term.
Well, and
think retirement. Yeah,
it's funny because the way when you bring it up, I'm at that age now where my financial advisor goes, annuity, and I went, oh, I've heard about those. What the heck?
Yeah.
So, but that's what a lot of people do when they hear about insurance, when they hear about all these different products that are out there. So whether you're a person that talks on the air and they want you have to cover that, or all these different things, does it ever stop? Is there a new insurance for something every day? Or are you learning about new stuff every day?
Is there new insurance? It's interesting. When I joined the department, my college roommate who works in the insurance industry down in the Boston area called me and said, hey, Keith, I got a great new idea for insurance. It's called marriage insurance. Oh. And really what he was trying to sell was divorce insurance.
Divorce insurance,
and It didn't exist at the time. Now it does.
Is that a real thing?
It really is. It started off in England, and you can purchase, and you think of prenuptial agreements.
Sure.
And you can insure against losing assets.
How is not everyone doing that?
I guess we all go into it thinking we don't need it.
Yeah.
But,
it's kind of the innovation of the industry.
Sure. Right.
I mean, something more recently, I was over at the Lakes Region Chamber talking with them a couple months ago, and they have an artificial intelligence series.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, technology liability is something that's very important nowadays that companies need to consider to make sure they're going to be protected if something is hacked, if something is not done on the up and up.
Cyber liability insurance, relatively new, along with pet insurance of all things.
Wow.
Pet insurance, we all love our pets. In particular, we think of our small mammals, dogs and cats, like family members.
Sure.
Well, technically they're property.
Right.
But we treat them as family members, and pet insurance looks and smells a lot like health insurance for pets. Relatively new insurance product type where we've done some market conduct exams to make sure companies are towing the line, and it's a buyer beware product. If you're thinking of buying pet insurance, make sure you read the policy, know what's covered. It doesn't function like health insurance for your pets.
Right. So health insurance will always be one of those number one topics. Do you have a whole department just that works with health insurance, or how does that work?
We have basically two silos of product expertise. We refer to them as our life and health division and our property and casualty division. The life and health division, as the name suggests, does have a branch within that which is strictly focused on health insurance, and they are a very, very busy group. A lot of legislation downtown in Concord, not to mention there is no shortage of questions and issues with claims. So it's it's a a very busy group, which I think adds immense value to the state.
How many people in the whole department?
I think we're currently, like a lot of employers, we're always looking for capable individuals. I think we're fully staffed around 80, and currently we're in the vicinity of 77.
Wow. And this is an everyday thing. You're taking calls not 24/7, but while you're there the whole time.
It's like I said, the consumer division is about 6 people, and it's 8.5 hours a day.
It's constant.
It never ends.
So give out the information. So now people are listening to it. We're coming near to the end of this program. They're listening. I have a question, or you know what? I'm glad I heard this today. How do they get in touch with you? What's the best way to do everything?
Absolutely. Give us a call at the insurance department. The number is 800-852-3416. And our website is nh.gov/insurance. And, there you can navigate to any one of our different units. And we're always willing to help. We want to help. It's a free service to the residents of New Hampshire. And we like hearing from the public. It's what keeps us busy.
I think the biggest thing you mentioned about it's a service to the residents and to the businesses of New Hampshire that, again, most people do not know about it. You add this to the SBDC, which is not a government. Well, it's funded through the government, but on all these other organizations that are built there to help your business grow, right? And to answer questions where it's not like kind of navigating by yourself. And without it, it would be so much harder to navigate.
Sure. Let me just kind of throw a pitch out there for your small businesses, which is just like us in our personal lives. We encourage consumers to shop their insurance. The days of having there is no benefit for being loyal anymore.
Right.
You can stay with an insurance company for 20 years, and you'll find out that, geez, if you were a new customer, you'd be paying less. Mm-hmm. So we tell consumers, shop your coverage. If any small business, certainly in the Monadnock area, you've probably been with the same agent for a while. Trust your agent. Those are the people you should be talking to. But don't be afraid to ask that agent, hey, let's take a look at my portfolio. Am I properly covered? The cost of insurance relative to an incident, which could, really, if not cripple, really, weaken a business's financial position. Cost of insurance is relatively minor. So make sure you have the right coverages. Talk to your current agent. If you need a new agent, again, contact the big guy at 603-224-3965. And lastly, as we wrap up, insurance department at 800-352-3416. Would love to hear from you.
Kevin, AJ, thank you. You guys are great at this. You made insurance exciting today.
Oh, my God. Thank you very much.
No, really did. I'm sitting here going, how are we going to make this exciting? And it really is. There's so much you need to learn, and we have a resource right there. It's nh.gov/insurance is to go online. They'll have a lot of areas where you could go to. Kevin, AJ, thanks for being here today.
Very welcome.
Appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I'm telling you, you learn every time, and they have pamphlets, and we'll have some information over at the offices of the Greater Monadnock Collaborative. And it says, insurance is complex. We're here to help. It's just that easy. Educate, navigate, investigate. I love those three terms, and really so excited to hear more about what the New Hampshire Insurance Department does. With that, that's the end of this broadcast of Monadnock Business Spotlight. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on Monadnock Business Spotlight.